Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V20 2-pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Hello, my name's David Seaman, and this is the Three Lions Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Three Lions Podcast. My name is Russell Osborne and this is your Independent England Football Supporters Podcast. How are you? Hope you're good. Hope you enjoyed the recent episodes that came your way. There was a 3-part mini-series where we looked at all three countries that are hosting the World Cup next year: Mexico, Canada and the USA. You can obviously find those at your podcast provider of choice. Go and have a listen to those. You can share them about, but well, first and foremost I want to say thank you to everyone who helped me with that. Alberto from Mexico, Josh and Paul from Canada, and Gurav from the States over there. So yeah, thank you for the input from those guys. Really appreciated. That's a year away, and can you believe that it was a year ago now when the Euros were taking place over in Germany. And as regular listeners may remember, I was a regular catching the bus outside of Tesco to head to the airport. And would you believe it, here I am once again at Tesco. Tesco again. Ole, ole. Yes, I'm on my way to Andorra. Oh, well, I'm on my way to Toulouse to go onwards to Barcelona, where England will be playing Andorra. So come for the ride with me. Hopefully we're going to get a positive result, but hopefully we're just going to have a bit of fun, see some sights in the meantime, in amongst sitting on a coach. It's Saturday. Arrived in Toulouse last night, found my digs, quick beer, and then this morning I was up at, we had to catch a coach for 6 o'clock this morning. So that was it was a bit of a tough one. So up and out by 10 to 6. And we've just literally arrived now in Barcelona. It's 5 to midday. And I'm just outside the Espanyol ground, the RCDE stadium. Weather, as you'd expect in Barcelona. Sun is out, blue skies, lovely. So the thing is though, it's dropped us right by the stadium, and if you know your Barcelona geography, you'll know that this stadium is right out of the city centre. So I'm debating to myself, do I hang around here, which I've been told isn't the most populated of areas with regards to somewhere to get drink and food, etc., or shall I see if I can get myself into town? We'll see. I tell you what though, a coach for 4 hours, I've done worse, but a coach for 4 hours is always hard. But following on from a Ryanair flight where your seat is pretty much concrete, I think I'm going to need to go and find a chiropractor of sorts when I get back. What have we got here? I think I'm walking around the backside of the stadium at the moment. It is very residential, it appears. We passed a large Corte d'Inglés shopping centre. There was another one as well. So yeah, that's the sort of area that it is. I think the stadium is a new build of sorts. I think they've built maybe, I don't know, 2010 time. Just come across a statue that's here. I don't know what this is. It's obviously all in Spanish. RCDE Español 1900. It's got some bronze figures on the top of it. Young child on probably his father's shoulders, holding a scarf above his head. I'm guessing that Español were formed in 1900. Let's carry on walking round. And as I walk round the ground, I'm noticing that each gate, your entrance gate, each one has got a name on top of it. Probably a previous Español player, I've no doubt. So if I guess you're a season ticket holder here or something, and you regularly come in and meet your mates or something, you probably go through the same gate. We'll go through gate 92, Tony Jimenez, or 90, Albert Albessa. Some of you may well know the Lionesses played Spain here in their Nations League game recently. They lost that 2-1. But as I'm just continuing walking around the ground, I said about these names above the gates. Gate number 6, Mauricio Pochettino. I was thinking to myself, I couldn't think of many players from Español, but of course, yeah, Pochettino is the famous one, I guess. Answers on postcard to any other famous ones that played here. Right, I've made a decision. I'm going to stick around at the stadium area because it appears to take about 40 minutes or so to get into the centre. And by the time you're there, find somewhere, I don't know if I can be bothered, frankly. I'll be honest, I've been to Barcelona 3-4 times before. It's a good city, but I don't feel the need to go see it once again for an hour or two. So what I'm going to do, there's actually a massive shopping centre right next door to the stadium with all your H&M's, your Primarks and jazz like that. I'm going to give that the big spurn, and I'm going to go and see if I can find something a little bit more traditional down one of the side streets around here. So let's see what we can find. Maybe a proper little bit of tapas or something. They do that in Spain. And here we are, with an hour to go. I've made my way into the stadium. A few cervezas in the local area with some England fans just chewing the fat. And I thought I'm going to make my way to the ground now. There was a few Andorran fans dotted around, and there's what are we now? It's 5 o'clock. Kickoff's at 6 o'clock. There's a little splattering of Andorran fans just to one side. They've got a drum and making a little bit of noise, and why not? I think there's going to be about 7,000 England fans here, to be honest. So we are going to rattle around in here. But let me just tell you about the ground here. It's a square ground, blue seats all around. It's got 2 big screens in each corner, executive boxes on the middle level. The upper tiers aren't being used, as you'd expect. The Andorrans, they've spent a fair bit on branding. Or the old FAF goes all the way around. But the pitch looks in good condition. Well, it's a nice stadium. It's nothing spectacular, but I imagine it keeps the atmosphere in. As always, let's just name check a few England flags. What have we got? We've got Reading FC, Preston North End, English Bick North, there's one there I think. Barker's on tour, DCFC. It's at Derby County, I guess. Coventry, Armit. There's England fans dotted all around, really. Every available piece of space is being used by England fans for St George's crosses. It's just been a relaxed afternoon, really. At one point, the people who are running the bars came round and said any glasses on the table, any beers in glasses had to be put into plastic containers. So the police have obviously had a say in that, which is nothing worse than having a cold glass and then having to transfer your drink to a plastic one.
Els himnos europeus per escoltar l'himne nacional d'Anglaterra. It cries for the national anthem of England.
That's the Andorran national anthem done. The team lining up, holding each other's shoulders there. They were swaying to the anthem, which was, I don't think I've seen that before, not in domestic football or in international football. One minute of injury time. It's currently 0-0. And if that surprises you, then you've not really been watching England enough recently, to be honest. I think there's going to be a fair few boos in a moment. We haven't been good enough. We haven't been creative enough. They're starting to come, the boos. There it is. Wow. Been here before. It's in 2008 when we were 0-0 with Andorra at half-time. As I say, we're just not creative enough. Andorra's keeper has pulled off a few good saves, fair play to him, and as the game's gone on, Andorra have grown in confidence. They've just, everyone behind the ball, as you'd expect, and they've done their job. And frankly, we haven't. You'd expect to make a few changes second half. Any excuses? It's a bit warm, but no. There was talk of warm weather training going to be used. This is warm weather. We need to get used to it. Not good enough. So as teams come back out for the second half, they're going to be attacking the goal that I'm standing behind, and the vast majority of England fans are behind. I mean, to be fair, England fans are behind both goals. But yeah, hopefully the second half we can have some action up here. Will we get a flood of goals? Yeah, I doubt it. Maybe a couple, 3 if we're lucky. But this is certainly something new for Thomas Tuchel to experience. 0-0 half-time to Andorra. Wonder what he said at half-time. Doesn't look like he's made any changes. There we go, Harry Kane. 1-0 England. Hopefully that's can spread a bit of confidence around now. Just a simple tap in, really. So we've got 3 minutes injury time. It's still 1-0. Andorra have got a player called Ian, and this is what it's come to, that England fans are cheering for an Andorran player called Ian. This has been horrific. And now Andorra can sense something here. Well, I don't know what they sensed, but I didn't get anything from it. Full time. That could well be Andorra's greatest victory. It's a win, 3 points, but this has been shocking.
And we are looking forward to seeing you again soon in another match. Safe journey home.
I worry about Thomas Tuchel. Previous games of sort of the Albania, the Latvia game, he was quite animated on the side of the pitch. I mean, he stood up a couple of times in this one, but for the vast majority of the game, he just sat there. Kane comes to... I'm surprised the applause that the England fans are giving to the players, but Kane leads them over.
Hi Russ, CJ Joyner from Block 109 and Coventry. The weather was good. I'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah, hello Russell, this is Marco from Germany, your German branch. And yeah, my voice note for your podcast about the performance of the last game. Yeah, as I said before in former times, Tuchel is walking on a very, very thin line and thin rope, and I think we will see what will be the performance in the next games. But as I said before, if he is successful, everyone will love him. Yeah, perhaps not everyone, but a lot of us. But when he will continue with this bad performance, yeah, I don't think that there will be success for the World Championships next year. Yeah, that's my opinion. So we will see what the future will bring to the English football team. Bye-bye from Germany.
You know, there's a saying about following England away. Probably applies to probably any other international nation when you follow them away. Never let the football spoil a trip. It's one of those little things that I've learned over the years. And I think that really applies to yesterday. Gosh, it was awful. I haven't seen the reaction back home on the telly yet. I'll wait for that later on, because I got back to Toulouse this morning. I think it was 20-3. We left at just gone 9 o'clock after the game last night. On the coach again for 5.5 hours or something. So yeah, a little bit of a lie-in. Gone and got myself a croissant and a coffee, and I've just had a wander through the streets of Toulouse, through the city centre. There's only so much I can see before I have to go home. But one thing I thought I will go and see, as you do if you've got the opportunity, and go and find Toulouse Stadium, the football stadium, because that was where England played. I'm pretty sure it was Romania in 1998. So I'm going to go and have a look at that. Now, as you'll probably see on my on some of the social pages I've actually got a Toulouse football shirt, and I'll explain in a moment. But I was walking through the streets of Toulouse this morning with my croissant, and about 3 people acknowledged me in French. Oh, what do I say? Merci beaucoup. I'll tell you, the only reason I have a Toulouse football shirt is because this particular one has got the sponsor RMO across it, and some French writing underneath that. RMO used to sponsor one of the cycling teams in the Tour de France. I don't know if they still do. But basically, RMO are my initials. And I thought, is there any other football team with a sponsor of your initials? So I thought, well, for 40 quid, I'll have that. And having never been to Toulouse before, why not? Let's wear it. Let's go to the stadium. Let's get a photo. Now the stadium, if you have a look on Google Maps, you'll see that it's actually on an island. So I've walked all the way along the river from the from the city centre along the river. I believe it's called the Garonne. I have to excuse my French pronunciation. But it splits in half at one point to form this island. And the island is where Toulouse's stadium is located. I'm just approaching it now. It'd probably help if I knew what the name of the stadium was. Here we are. Is this Toulouse Métropole? Stadium de Toulouse. And it's white and purple colours. It's got quite a distinctive sort of roof that sort of bulges along. How do I get down here? It looks like some steps. It's like little domes that go all the way around it. I've got to say though, Toulouse as a city, from the very brief look that I've got of it, it appears quite nice, I've got to say. I think you could probably come back here and spend a couple of days mooching around, looking around, and then move on to, I don't know, somewhere else. Where can we go here? Access by foot. I think, as you would expect on a Sunday morning out of season, there is no way that you can get any closer to this stadium. It's all locked up. That's right, we've got a couple of good photos. Interestingly, there's like little pitches dotted all the way around it, open to the public. One of them has booted their ball right over the fence, and I had to kick it back to them. Bit of pidgin French involved. They love my keepy uppies. Before I booted it back in, Peter Kay style. Have it! Oh my word! So, I remember going to school, France, on a French trip, and late at night when we came back from wherever we'd been on this trip, as school kids, we turned the telly on in our room, and there was French TV, if you get my drift. The French are renowned for their, well, they certainly were, back whenever this was, for some racy TV, shall we say. I've just walked round the corner, and there is a massive, like, it looks like a brick wall, the size of an advertising billboard, and on it is just the France 98 logo. France 98 World Cup logo. Now that is French porn. That is superb. It's just such a shame I can't get in there. There's a guy cycling across. How's he in there? That would be amazing to get a photo up with that. A photo from this bridge is going to have to suffice. That's beautiful. If you're of the age when, like, France 98, what it meant to you, that is iconic. And it's got like a French flag just sort of flying in front of it. I'm going to put this up on the old socials. And I've just seen behind this this sign, there's a large 2007 Rugby World Cup that was held here. Slightly hidden away behind the trees. Oh, hang on. And just also behind the trees, why is it hidden there? There's a large wording, UEFA Euro 2016, of course. It was a host stadium during the 2016 Euros. UEFA Euro 2016, UEFA in blue, Euro in white, 2016 in red. Of course, the French colours. Le tricolore. That's a shame I can't get any closer. As I say, if you get a chance to come to Toulouse, nice city. And if you can get a game here, go for it. And so with that, let's head on to Nottingham. Welcome to the City Ground. It's Nottingham. It's England against Senegal. It's the first time I've been here. It's a nice, tight little ground, this one. I like it. Red seats all round, as you'd expect. Nottingham Forest Football Club, the Brian Clough stand. I'm in the Trent end. I am, 10 rows behind the goal. Already filling up with quarter of an hour to go. It's an old style ground. You've got one big side stand along the touchline. Behind the goal is still double tiered. It drops down to a single tier, and then opposite the main stand where the dugouts are now is just one single tier. But it's a nice tight little ground. I'm liking this. As he goes for the Senegalese lineup, let's just go for the England lineup. Dean Henderson is back in goal. We've got Kyle Walker, Declan Rice, Levi Colwill, Harry Kane, Gordon Eze, Lewis Skelly, Shalabar's in for his debut, Conor Gallagher and Bukayo Saka. And there are plenty of England flags dotted around. We've got Old Faithful, Bolton, Stuart Wendy, Norwich City over there, Durham, Jepson on Tour. There's Port Vale one. There's always a Port Vale flag. There's a Nottingham Forest flag, as you'd expect. Plymouth. And there are a lot of England shirts, which I'm really pleased for. England Shirt Day seems to have caught on. Made some good progress with that, and I'll tell you about that in a bit. There's some banners just behind us that have been unveiled, I think by the Forest fans. I'll be honest, I'm at such an angle I can't actually read it, but they look quite big. I'm at the angle that I can't read what it actually says. Here's an observation for you. It looks like we've got a female referee, and we've also got a female lineswoman down our end. I can't see across to the other side to see whether that is a lineswoman as well. Perhaps this is where I should look in my programme. Hold on. So it looks like we've got an all-French refereeing team. Stephanie Frappart is the referee. Auriel Durant and Camille Serrano. All female officiating. And we are, a minute in, and there have already been 3-4 paper planes come down. Some things never change. 1-0 England, 7 minutes in. It's another tap in for Harry Kane. Applause rings out for a young lad, Harrison, who lost his life recently. 26 years old. And on the 26th minute, the City Ground applauds. Such a young life to lose. Senegal have scored, equalised. Their fans in the upper tier there, all waving their flags, jumping around. They had an opportunity earlier on with a header, which Henderson palmed away. But that was probably their first real opportunity. And they put it away. Just wait for the replay to come up. Doesn't look like they're going to put the replay up. But it's 1-1. To be fair, Senegal have been a decent side. Happy to have the ball, knock it about. Going to come again. Half time, 1-1. Senegal deserve their goal, to be honest. It's a fair reflection, I think, at the moment. 61 minutes in and Senegal have taken the lead. 2-1. We are awful. People beginning to leave now. Before today, England have never lost to an African nation in a competitive match. 21 games they've played, and now they find themselves behind with an hour gone. Jude Bellingham's got us back in this. 9 minutes to go from a corner. Jude Bellingham smashed it home. Senegalese aren't happy though, they're not happy. So have we got VAR in a friendly? I'm not sure. Frappa, yep, it's gone to VAR. Goal check. The referee, she was tapping her ear throughout that. I don't know what was going on there. I don't know what it's been pulled up on. There we go. There's a monitor there. She's gone to the monitor. Bellingham's pleading his innocence. This is interesting actually because all the players are surrounding the lineswoman. They're all surrounding her. Referees had to push them away. No goal. Yeah, no goal, handball. Senegal remain in the lead. And with that, Senegal go 3-1 up on 90 minutes. Breakaway goal. 4-on-1. Shocker. They're loving it though. Senegal fans up there. Loving it. Where is Thomas Tuchel? 1-0 against Andorra. 3-1 defeat. Home to Senegal. Not sure. Is this a disaster? Is it a blip? It's just not good enough. Players are walking around, the ground's pretty much empty, but those that are left are pretty much booing the England team. It's this combined with the Andorra performance. I don't think I've ever witnessed England be booed off like that before. It's one of the worst reactions I have witnessed, I think. Frankly, Senegal were the better team, without a shadow of a doubt.
Hi Russell, Gary here from Channel England Football. It was a disappointing international window, wasn't it? And Tuchel just seems to have lost already a big chunk of the fan base. It's quite unclear what sort of system he's trying to play. I think the Andorra game is probably what's going to cause him most issues, or caused him most issues. And people accept losing friendlies. Senegal were a good team, but I think sandwiched next to that Andorra game where, 1-0 away against Andorra is embarrassing. There's no way around it. And I think it's just, it's left a really bitter taste in the mouth, particularly as we're waiting 2-3 months for games all the time. But Serbia away is all that matters. I mean, the Andorra game was all that matters. We won. But Serbia away now looks a really tough test, doesn't it?
Thanks to Gary there from Channel England Football. Thanks also to CJ and to Marco for sending their contributions in, their thoughts on the games. I mean, 2 games, not the best, let's be frank, but an enjoyable weekend away in Toulouse. First time in a long time that I've been up to Nottingham. I enjoyed wandering around there, just seeing the city centre once again. Saw the Brian Clough statue. Yeah, as I say, never let the football spoil a trip. Now, you may remember on that preview episode, I spoke with Adam Mollison from the Tricky Talks podcast. I met up with him prior to the game. You may also remember what he said about the view of the City ground. I should have recorded this bit whilst I was there, but I forgot. But he was right. You cross the bridge over the Trent and the stadium just comes into view. It's got its grass banks sort of rolling down to the river. It's a large river, the Trent, quite wide. And apparently, the further you go up, it gets even wider. And on the day, Tuesday, the sun was out, loads of people milling around. Great view of a stadium. I see what he meant. And as I say, for the game, or games, they weren't the best, but positives, well, the one that was important, the Andorra one, next year, when we look back at the table, it'll be down as a victory. Add it to the 2 previous victories against Latvia and Albania, means we have 9 points from 9. 9 points from 3 games, no goals conceded. Harry Kane scored for the 3rd and 4th consecutive games, which is the first under a new manager. Something no one else has ever done before. We saw the debut of Trevor Chalobah. Was it a positive? Well, it showed us what he's like. I'm not sure he's going to be pulling up trees in the future for England, I have to say. You never know. Give him another go. He might turn that around. But we are top of the group. There's your positives. The negatives, clearly both performances. They both lacked energy, passion, creativity, you name it, it was probably missing. And I mentioned about Kane, like scoring for the 3rd and 4th consecutive games. Who else is going to be scoring? I'm not sure. Ivan Toney only came on in the, if it wasn't injury time against Senegal, it was on the 88th, 89th minute. Why did he come all that way and only get 2-3 minutes? Very strange. Clearly things need to change going forwards. I felt that as a team we're just too rigid. Not much in the way of flexibility. It felt we're just going through the motions, and that's not good enough. Obviously, things can change. They can change quickly. They can change in the blink of an eye. But if the World Cup was to begin tomorrow, I just don't see us causing too much damage. A lot of people have mentioned about this June window. I mentioned it before, that it's a strange one. People have said it's not been the most successful for England in recent years. And I dug a little deeper on that. This time last year, we beat Bosnia at Newcastle, then lost to Iceland. 2023, we beat both Malta and North Macedonia. 2022 is probably the one that people refer to when they're saying about this June window. It was the disastrous one of 4 games in the Nations League. There were the 2 defeats to Hungary and the draws with Germany and Italy. 2019, we had the Nations League finals in Portugal. 2018, there was the pre-World Cup friendlies against Nigeria and Costa Rica. I don't think they're actually as bad as people make out. I think it's more the fact that they're generally friendlies, and the pace of them come end of season are just a little slower. I mean, this time next year, it will be a World Cup year. Providing we get there, then we'll obviously have another couple of friendlies. So maybe expect the same next year. Which brings me on to the World Cup. You may remember previous episodes, I sort of ran through where we stand with the World Cup and who's qualified. I thought, yeah, let's do that again. Now, we now have 10 nations qualified. 13 if you include the hosts, Canada, Mexico and the States. Japan were the first to qualify, followed by New Zealand. Then came Iran. Then came holders Argentina. Uzbekistan qualified recently during this international window, as did South Korea, as did Jordan, Australia, Brazil and Ecuador. Uzbekistan and Jordan, 2 debutants. And with Brazil qualifying once again, means they've appeared in every single tournament since it began in 1930. It'll be a cold day in hell the day Brazil don't qualify for a World Cup, I think. But the current qualification, as it stands at the moment, let's start with the AFC, Asia. There are 8 direct spots and 1 inter-qualification playoff. The third round was completed during this last international break. 6 nations qualified. They were made up of 3 groups of 6. The top 2 went through. That's those 6. Now, places 3 and 4 head into phase 4 of the qualifying. So in those 3rd and 4th places were the United Arab Emirates and Qatar from Group A, Iraq and Oman from B, and Saudi Arabia and Indonesia from C. They will be divided up into 2 groups of 3. The winners of those 2 groups will qualify. The second place goes into the 5th round draw for the chance at that inter-confederation playoff. Talk about long and drawn out. Let me just quickly touch on one of those matches. Palestine against Oman in Group B. Played in Jordan, for obvious reasons. Now, a win for either side would have put them through to that 4th phase. Going into the game, Oman, they were a point ahead. But during the game, Palestine, they took the lead shortly after half-time. They were looking good for the win, especially when Oman were reduced to 10 men with 10 or so minutes to go. Then deep into injury time, Oman were awarded what appeared to be the softest of penalties. Now, there was VAR there, but it wasn't called upon. And subsequently, Oman equalised and took that 4th place for the 4th round. The Palestinian FA have complained to FIFA and the AFC, but it appears to have fallen on deaf ears. And this was followed by a recent story that FIFA removed a Club World Cup promotional picture of a player from Al Ahly because he was wearing a Free Palestine bracelet. I mean, I'm in danger of breaking my own no politics rule on this podcast, but come on, you don't need me to tell you that FIFA is one dodgy outfit. Let's move on to CAF, the African Confederation. Now, there were no match days this recent break in Africa, hence why Senegal played 2 friendlies against us and Ireland, incidentally, who they drew 1-1 with. Africa will contribute 9 sides to the World Cup, and 4 will have the opportunity at the Inter-Confederations playoff. As it stands, Egypt, DR Congo, South Africa, Cape Verde, Morocco, Ivory Coast, Algeria, Tunisia and Ghana top their respective groups. They all return to action in September. CONCACAF, with the 3 hosts all coming from this confederation, it leaves only 3 more direct spots available, and then there's 2 playoff spots. Now, they completed their 2nd round this last window. 12 teams finished 1st or 2nd in their groups. Now, Bermuda, Costa Rica, Curacao, El Salvador, Guatemala, Haiti, Honduras, Jamaica, Nicaragua, Panama, Suriname and Trinidad and Tobago. They all head into the 3rd phase, where they'll be drawn into 3 groups of 4. Group winners qualify. 2nd place goes towards those playoffs. South America, CONMEBOL. Is that how you pronounce it? I always struggle with that one. We already know Argentina, Ecuador, Brazil are already through. The top 6 qualify. And at present, Uruguay are 4th, Paraguay 5th, and Colombia 6th. Now, 7th place goes into the playoffs. There are 2 match days left in September. Venezuela currently occupy that playoff place, but Bolivia are only a point behind. Over the other side of the planet in Oceania, We know that New Zealand are through to the finals after winning their region. And we also know that New Caledonia are into the playoffs. And that brings us to Europe and UEFA. There will be 16 European sides at the finals. Now, because of the Nations League taking place this last window, of which Portugal won for the second time, it means that 6 groups for World Cup qualifying haven't even started yet, which I find really bizarre. 24 nations haven't kicked a ball in World Cup qualification anger yet. But those that have, Finland top Group G, Bosnia top H, Norway top I, North Macedonia top J, and we top K, and the Czech Republic top Group L. So let's just take a look at our group a little bit more. As I said, we are top with 3 wins from 3, 9 points. Albania are second after playing 4 games. They got 5 points. Serbia are third with 4 from 2 games. Latvia fourth with 4 points from 3. And Andorra bottom still with no points from 4 games. Has to be said, Serbia drawing 0-0 in Albania has done us a favour. There is still a long way to go. Obviously, top team qualifies automatically. Second place advances to the playoffs. Now, speaking of Serbia, there was a fair bit of talk around where our away match will be played. Initially, and understandably, everyone assumed Belgrade. Then recently there was media speculation that it would be played in the southern city of Leskovac, in a stadium with an 8,000 capacity. And it was there where they recently played Andorra, where they won 3-0. They also played there last year against Denmark and Switzerland. But their Nations League game in March against Austria was played in Belgrade in front of 22,000. There appeared to be some political talk surrounding it, but now the Serbian official Twitter account confirmed on the 12th of June that it would be played in Belgrade at the Rajko Mitic Stadium. It's a stadium with a capacity of 52,000. Now, if you've ever seen the footage of the eternal derby between Red Star and Partizan with all the flares, then that's your stadium. Yes, I know Red Star isn't the proper name, but I can't pronounce that name properly. Credit to you if you can. Anyway, it's good news if you are looking at going. Sadly, though, it's not one that I can do, which is a shame. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, we are fully aware that Mexico, Canada and the USA are hosting next year's finals. Recently, I spoke with people from each country to get the feeling from each nation. I hope you found them interesting, those episodes. Some tips and hints there. If you've not heard them yet, they are available at your podcast provider of choice or threelionspodcast.com. Please go check them out. England are next in action in September when we face Andorra at Villa Park on the 6th of September. Then that game is followed by the Serbia away game on the 9th. I think that is me done for this episode. As always, thank you very much for tuning in. Sorry it was a little bit later than normal with regards to a review. I know the under-21s Euros has started now. I think I've missed the boat as to previewing that. But don't forget, you can see their games on Channel 4. They started with a 3-1 victory over the Czech Republic, or Czechia, in Slovakia. You heard Gary from Channel England Football a moment ago. Why not tune into his channel, as he's been doing some successful watch-alongs for those under-21s games. Before I go, I just also want to say a huge thank you to all that got involved in England Shirt Day on Tuesday the 10th of June for the game against Senegal. Sure, the result didn't go our way, but I saw loads of different England shirts on show all around the City Ground and in a couple of the pubs beforehand. Really appreciate all the help I had in promoting it, those retweeting it, mentioning it in group chats, etc. Lots of people I spoke with said it was a great idea, which is really nice to hear. Shout out to both Henry Winter and the BBC 5 Live's John Murray, who mentioned it. Three Lions too. Matt Asprey as well gave it a mention in his England diaries. Yeah, Block 109 as well. Loads of people helped me give it a little bit of publicity, so I thank you. Thank you. We raised in excess of £600 for the Bobby Moore Fund for bowel cancer. So once again, thank you so much for your generosity. It's going to help some people out. I think it worked on this occasion as it was a friendly during the summer. The sun was out. It was a game on the road. Would it work at Wembley? I don't know. Maybe we'll try it. We'll see how the fixtures fall for this time next year. But I am open to all ideas. If you've got one, drop me a line, either on the socials or on email, 3lionspodcast@gmail.com. But once again, thank you so much. And once again, thank you very much for tuning in. Always appreciated. I think I might take a little bit of time off for a week or two now. I've got a few personal things to attend to, but I'll be back soon with some more England-related content. So please make sure you stay subscribed and you'll not miss anything. So until then, take care of yourselves. Cheers.